contrary to many people's opinions, I'm actually quite a big fan of Adam Sandler, particularly his earlier things. And Click, the 2006 film, is easily one of my favourites of his films, maybe even my favourite. I'm not 100% sure of that. I love the concept of this. It's funny, it's entertaining, but it's also very thought-provoking and gets quite deep. And I think it blends the two very well. So this was released in 2006, directed by Frank Coraci, written by Steve Corrin and Mark O'Keefe, and stars, of course, Adam Sandler, alongside a pretty phenomenal cast, to be perfectly honest. Kate Beckinsale, Christopher Walken, David Hasselhoff, Henry Winkler, Sean Astin, Jonah Hill. Definitely take a look at the cast list. Jennifer Coolidge, one of my personal favourites. Definitely take a look at the cast list on IMDb if you're interested in that, because it's pretty fabulous. It is, however, the narrative that drew me in. The premise sounded fantastic, brilliantly executed. This is about a workaholic played by Adam Sandler who somehow happens upon this remote control. It's a magical remote control wherein he can fast forward bits of his life, rewind, speed up bits of his life that he is bored with, and I love that. I think that's something we would all love. Imagine being able to do your working day and do your activities, but have it on fast forward so you feel like you never went to work. Probably physically exhausted, but mentally you feel like you haven't, and I love that concept so much, and I was really keen to see what the film would do with it and what kind of situations he would fast forward and what the problems would be. And of course there are going to be problems with this. There are things that you may miss out on mentally, you may not remember things. How is it going to impact his family? I think it worked very well. And it is pretty well received. 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which is really good. It was nominated for an Oscar, which was surprising, especially as it was Best Achievement in Makeup. So I didn't think it was Oscar worthy, and usually I'm the opposite. Usually I will think that a film that hasn't been nominated is mediocre. That should have been nominated, where the critics haven't received it. But this one is the opposite for me. I thought it was really good and very interesting. But certainly not the most amazing film I've ever seen, but still probably one of my favourite Adam Sandlers, if you know what I mean. To me, he just doesn't really do Oscar films. Well, that's just my opinion. Regardless of what it won or not was nominated for or wasn't nominated for, I think Click is a really brilliant, entertaining film, and I really like it from start to finish. I think we get to know Michael, Adam Sandler's character, as a character quite quickly, and we get to know his personality without really any dillying around or any delay, which is something that I always appreciate. And then it kind of gets straight to the narrative and doesn't waste any time. And ironically, because it's a fast forward remote, it does that very well. It's balanced. As I said, it's quite funny. But once the remote starts to, I'll say, malfunction, and things don't always go to plan, it takes a more serious turn. And you could look into it more deeply. But obviously it's never so deep that it's massively depressing. It's an Adam Sandler film. It's good fun. If you haven't seen it and you're a fan of Adam Sandler, I definitely encourage you to watch this one next. Even if you're not the biggest fan of Sandler, I think you'll like this one as long as you've got a penchant for comedy. Because it does have a really great balance, and it's one that I'm very happy to recommend. Click, for me, is brilliant.